The first topic I'm going to talk about is that the trailer for MaXXXine came out. Now, I really love Pearl. I wasn't a fan of X. I thought X was pretty bad. I know a lot of people love that movie. I thought Mia Goth in that movie was fine, but she didn't stand out to me in that movie. I thought she was much better in Pearl, and I loved her character a lot more in Pearl. So my excitement for this movie is based on Pearl because I love that movie. I thought this was a fantastic trailer. I love the 80s vibe, the music, the aesthetic, the look of the movie. It looks like it has a great cast. You have Kevin Bacon in there, which I'm excited to see him in this franchise. And Mia Goth looks like she's going to give another strong performance like Pearl. And the story looks really cool with the killer going around. I like part where she shows she can take care of herself if you watch the previous two movies. So I thought this trailer was great. It did what a good trailer stood. It got me really excited for like the tone, the story, the characters, especially coming off Pearl for me. Fantastic first trailer. I can't wait for this movie. The next thing is the box office. So Godzilla X Kong New Empire took a 60% drop. So it took an okay drop in the second week. Not a great hold in the second week. But also not the worst hold. In a way, like you want your movie to take between 50 to 60% drop off, but you want it to kind of go below the 60 area. Because if you go below the 60, you have a pretty good drop off from week 1 and 2 there. If you get to like 40% lower, that's a great drop off. That's like amazing. But I'm not surprised it took, I'm not surprised that it took a 60% drop off because to me, the movie was just very okay. And look, that's not bad. Saying the movie is okay is not me saying it was a bad movie. But the thing now with movies is that you can't just make an okay to fun movie anymore. Like to me, if a movie's gonna have legs at the box office, then you gotta have a movie that people are gonna like come out like, okay, you're gonna want to see it again with tell their friends and family. And Godzilla X Kong New Empire just didn't have that. It's more like it's one of those movies, and that's kind of felt like the Monsterverse after the 2014 Godzilla movie, with King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island, the first Godzilla vs. Kong. They're all movies that were just kind of forgettable to me. And that's how I felt about Godzilla X New Empire. It's a very okay movie that I like, where I kind of knew it was going to take a little bit of a big drop off. Like I thought it was going to have a bigger drop off, but the movie did make, it still made over 300 so far. It's one of the lower budget Monsterverse movies. I believe the budget is like between 130 to 150 something. So it's already made money back. So we'll probably get another one, but I'll admit I stopped caring about this franchise, and I'll just stick with the show Legacy and Moloch because I feel like that in the 2014 Godzilla movie felt like I liked the tone better and felt like it actually was trying to tell a story. In the monster movies after that, it's become just kind of more about the monster aspect, which just isn't personally enough for me. Another problem I want to talk about the box office is that Kung Fu Panda 4 has made over 400, and I gotta give this movie credit. I mean, this movie overperformed with its opening. It had the second biggest opening in the Kung Fu Panda franchise, and it's a franchise where they had a gap between 3 and 4. I mean, it's great to see a franchise come back and doing really well. It seems like a lot of people were excited to see the franchise back. I know Jack Black said like he didn't think DreamWorks was even ever gonna do another one. So this shows how much people have love for this franchise. I mean, it's made over 400. I think Kung Fu Panda 4 has the lowest budget out of the Kung Fu Panda movies. Like, it's below 100. So this movie is, like, keeps chugging along. So it's great to see, like, I'm always happy when I see a movie doing well at the box office, that it keeps chugging along and people are going back constantly to see it. Like, I started to see Kung Fu Panda 4, so I do want to see it at some point to give my thoughts on that. But as a big fan of the franchise, it's great to see the new ones doing really well. The next thing is the Brightburn sequel is unlikely to happen. Now, when it comes to Brightburn, I thought that was a fun movie. It wasn't great. I think the two issues with that movie for me was that I do like the fact that that we got what we wanted, and I really like the angle of an evil Superman in that. In that movie when it's its own world, its own characters. But I also can understand some of the criticisms why it wasn't really well received too well. where it didn't get the greatest reviews, I can understand criticisms. Like, two of the criticisms I have of that movie is that even though I got what I wanted, you get what you want in the trailer. I do think I wish this obviously did throw some twists and turns in the story because it is pretty predictable by Brightburn. Like, the story you see in trailers is what you get in Evil Superman. I wish I don't know. I wish they just kind of like do some twists and turns to make the story not feel so like predictable in the movie. And I would say the other negative thing with the movie is that I feel like you could have shown more of a struggle with the kid of becoming evil. Like, I love the idea of doing a movie where you have a kid with superpowers who's as powerful as Superman and becomes evil. But I felt like you could have shown more of a struggle with the kid in the movie of him becoming evil. Because it does, in the movie, he's pretty much like, you don't get really much with him showing he's good, even has like a little bit good in him. So I think you could have done that better. But overall, I still think it was a fun movie. I would like to have seen where that world would have gone, because obviously at the end of the movie you set up the whole idea there's other superpower people out there. But James Gunn was basically saying he doesn't fully own the rights to that movie. He only owns half the rights, and he was saying it's unlikely to happen, which does suck. I would have been interested to see it Brightburn too. And look, I would say this: even if he owned fully the rights, 'cause I know there was talks about a sequel, I don't know if it actually would have necessarily ever like gone through to get it made officially, because the first Brightburn movie I believe only made over 30, and yes, the budget was 6 to 12, so it did it did okay at the box office, but it wasn't like it made tons of money and didn't get the greatest reviews. So I don't know if a Brightburn 2 would have honestly done all that well. Like, you would have to make it for cheap, and usually with sequels they kind of bring up the budget up. So I think there's other reasons why I don't think a Brightburn 2 was going to happen. But it definitely sounds unlikely now, and that does disappoint me because I would have been at least interested to see a sequel. The next thing is, it's been announced that they're going to do a sequel to Happy Gilmore. Now, I'm excited / nervous for this, because Happy Gilmore is one of my favorite comedy films. I love that movie. It's actually my favorite Adam Sandler comedy film. But there's 3 things I'm worried about. I believe Netflix is doing it, which they have a very miss or hit track record. More miss than hit. And Adam Sandler, I personally think he's not very funny anymore. Like, his more recent comedy movies, I just don't think they're very good. And personally, I'm just like I'm over the whole like goofy stick that he did back in his old movies. Which I love a lot of his old comedy movies, but he just hasn't been funny lately to me personally. Like, I actually am more interested in him doing more dramatic roles, like Spaceman. Like, I hated Spaceman. I thought it was a bad movie. But I'd rather him do more dramatic roles now than him trying to be doing the goofy comedy roles, because to me, I just don't think he's funny anymore personally. So that's another worry there. And it's just hard to do comedy sequels. I mean, I can't really think of a comedy sequel I can say I love that they did years later. Like Bill and Ted 3, I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was as funny as the first two. I wasn't a fan of the Dumb and Dumber sequels. I thought it was awful. And Good Burger 2, that was okay, but I think it was good as the original. So it's really hard to do sequels to comedy specifically. So, like, I'm excited for Happy Gilmore 2, but I'm also a little worried because of those 3 reasons. Like, I'm definitely going to check it out. But, like I said, there's some things there where I'm a little hesitant whether they can pull it off. But, I hope it does. Maybe this will be a return to form for comedy with Adam Sandler for me. Where I watch and go, like, okay, he can do comedy again. But, lately he just hasn't been funny for me personally. So that's all the movie news today. Until next time, movie fans.